just to make sure we could see it.
Smart.
Let's see. Okay, it says we are being live streamed.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, everybody. Looks like we're live. Let me double check.
Cool.
Okay. Hey, guys. So this is Nick Fuller. Nick is an expert in SEO and all kinds of like web development and everything, but SEO is really a big specialty of his. And I actually had him come into my Bill Like a Boss group and do a presentation a few months ago, and it was excellent. And he was telling me that he's got this course coming out, it's for SEO, and I just got so excited. So I asked him to please come and talk to you guys in this group as well and share his tips and tricks and secrets. I learned a ton from him already. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to Nick. If you guys have questions, just pop them in the comments. Nick can see the comments, I can too. And we'll answer any questions that you have. And I'll turn it over to you, Nick.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Hello. I see a welcome and a hi. Thank you very much. I'm going to do my best to kind of keep an eye on the comments over here. But yeah, I'll kind of give it just a couple minutes just to see if anyone else is joining. I will say, if you've seen me before, the beard is new, but the wife likes it, so I'm trying it on for a while. Let me know what you think. But
I like it. Yeah. Let me, I'm going to go post in the event too, that this exact room where we're streaming live real quick so everybody can find us.
Perfect. Perfect.
I don't know why these Facebook lives are so confusing.
Yeah, over here and then over here and then over here. Yeah.
All right, so let me go to the actual event for a second, and I'm going to just invite everybody over there just to show them exactly where we are. So I'm going to say we are here.
Hi, Beth. Hello. Thanks for saying hi. Let me guys, if you guys are here and you can see everything too, also tell us where you're from, where you're at. Love to kind of know that. It's fun seeing people from all over. If you guys have questions, you can put them in the comments.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I should pretty much get started, huh?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'm just going to add some links all over the place, but feel free to go ahead and get started.
Well, you do that. There's just one thing I need while you're putting those links. Just hang on just 1 second.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to my talk on SEO. Yes, today in this talk, I will demystify the mysterious, illuminate the interwebs, and, well, just kidding. I'm just going to be talking SEO.
Love it.
I like to kind of start with a little fun, like to make this a little fun. Hopefully it's a little entertaining for you guys. SEO can sometimes be a little bit dry, but hopefully we can have some fun with it. So I like to start that way. Thank you, Letitia. All right, so if you don't know me, I'm Nick Fuller from iTherapy. I've been an entrepreneur and web developer for almost a decade. After some years working with all sorts of different clients, I've been working with iTherapy since 2016. And since then, it's pretty much all been helping mental health professionals succeed with their private practices. The whole team at iTherapy has helped hundreds of therapists start their private practices, bring their practices online confidently, and grow their practices to full caseloads. Our team can put together the tools you need to run your practice online and train you on them. We can build you a beautiful website your ideal clients will love, and we offer marketing support like this. With iTherapy, we empower you. It's your practice made simple. Visit itherapy.com.
Awesome.
All right. So, but enough about me. Let's get into teaching you, talking about SEO.
Okay.
So here's what I have planned for you all today. I'm sure some of you have heard of SEO. You're interested in SEO, but not sure where to begin. Some of you don't know what to do. You don't know how to measure success. You don't know how to start with SEO. Some of you are even wondering what the heck SEO means. I got you. Don't worry. We're going to answer all these fundamentals. You're in the right place. We're going to start with the basics, cover kind of what is SEO, why you should care about SEO. And then we're going to talk a little bit about also a very fundamental piece. How do you measure your success? How do you see how you're doing? How do you kind of judge yourself against the competition and be able to track as you're progressing through your SEO journey? And then lastly, you'll definitely want to stick around until the end because I'm going to give some quick tips, easy to implement, things that you can do that are going to help you improve your SEO. So cool?
Yes.
All right.
Awesome. So excited for this.
So the very first question that I want to ask and answer is, what is SEO? So I've got some nice slides here. Yep, we're doing slides. Yep. So let me, I'm gonna share my screen and I'll put us over there. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, I'll see it in a minute, I think.
Yeah, let me go
Oh,
look.
weird. Did my live actually? Okay, I think we're
Well,
good. I
okay.
think we're
Yeah, let me go look too in the Facebook group and see. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's still good. It just makes it full screen, so it makes our thing go away, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hello, Andrea. Thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. Again, if you guys have questions, go ahead. We're going to be talking about SEO. Try to keep an eye on the comments. But what is SEO? All right. SEO stands for search engine optimization. But what does that really mean? Well, before we can really answer that, I have another really fundamental question, and that is, what is a search engine? Well, if you're familiar with the modern internet, you're familiar with a search engine, whether you know it or not. You're probably using Google, but there's other search engines out there too. Yahoo, Bing, there's DuckDuckGo. I heard the name Ask Jeeves the other day. I haven't heard that one in a while, but all sorts of different search engines. But really, I mean, that's the place that you're going when you have some kind of question or you're looking for something, you're putting it into that search engine, right? Or if you're asking your Google Assistant, like where the best pizza is locally or something, that's fundamentally like a Google search also. Now, in SEO world, we say Google likes this, Google does that a lot. And of course, there are other search engines. The tips and tricks and tools that we're going to use really apply to all of them, but we all kind of focus on Google because they're the 600-pound gorilla in the room. So what they say it goes, because nobody wants to fight a 600-pound gorilla. So one more super fundamental question that's important when we're talking about search engine optimization is, how does a search engine work? So a search engine is fundamentally just an algorithm, right? That's the fancy word for a little bit of computer code, and it does some things. It takes in kind of your query, your question. It looks at different ranking factors, and it tries to give you what it thinks is the best result for them, right? So it's just some code. It's not a bunch of, actually, way back in the day, Yahoo didn't really have code. They had people like manually going through websites and kind of saying these sites are about that. That's why Yahoo isn't around anymore, because an algorithm is way more efficient, you know? But so it is just like an algorithm, and there's these ranking factors. That's what we're working on. So if we put all this together, we can say, what is SEO? Well, search engine optimization is the process of improving those ranking factors to convince the algorithm to rank our website higher, right? So and what do we mean by ranking? Well, we're talking about, we'll get into that in just a little bit, but we're talking about kind of where it is on those search engine results. So that is the basics of what is SEO. Now, why should you care? Well, people are searching all the time for therapy, right? People really are. There's people that are searching, therapy near me, anxiety therapy, all sorts of different, searches for therapy. And you want to be able to attract some of that audience. A good website, I always think that a good website should be a conversion machine, right? A good website should have your ideal clients get to that website and go, wow, Kim really gets me. Kim understands the issues that I'm going through, and she knows what's in my mind. I want to work with Kim. If you're doing a good job of just kind of getting in their mind and explaining how they feel, they're going to want to work with you, right? But in addition to that good website being that great conversion machine, you need eyeballs on that conversion machine, right? You need people to actually see your website, and you need to drive that traffic to your call to action, your free consult, whatever it may be. So search engine optimization is all about getting those eyeballs onto your conversion machine. It's a no-cost way to do just that, getting people to your website. So I bet some of you probably perked up because I just said no cost, and that's right.
Yeah.
One of the nice things about search engine optimization is, I mean, there's not really a cost to it. There's a time investment, but if you know what you're doing, it can be really effective, and it really doesn't have to take all that much time. It is sort of a long-term strategy, and you want to kind of keep chipping away at it a little bit each month. But if you kind of build that into your schedule each week, each month, whatever, you're going to see success over the long term, and really, you'll get clients from search engine optimization. You also, again, what's nice about kind of my approach is I try to make it simple, because we don't need to get crazy. Sure, search engine optimization, there are people that spend their whole careers as search engine optimizers, right? But you don't need like 1,000 clients tomorrow. You couldn't possibly handle 1,000 clients tomorrow, right?
Right.
You need kind of just enough to fill your caseload, right?
Yeah, totally.
Right. Right. So we're not trying to compete with like New York Times or Amazon or even Psychology Today. We're just trying to basically compete with other kind of people in the same space, other private practices, that sort of thing. So, yep. Yeah. So why care about SEO? Because doing some basic work on SEO can help you fill your practice with just a little time and no cost. Who doesn't want that, right?
Sounds pretty good.
Yep. Okay, so let me get into the next little element that I want to share, and I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to talk about the search engine results page. What's a comfortable number of clients to see a week for you to? Well, not 1,000.
Yeah.
Andrea, I'm actually not a clinician, but again, I've spent years working with other clinicians with their private practices. Like what I hear a lot is that kind of the ideal caseload is 20 to 25 clients per week. But I don't know, what do you like to see, Kim?
Well, I used to see way too many, and that was around 40. And now I'm down to about 10 because I have a lot of other stuff going on, like my courses and my membership and everything. So 10 is pretty manageable for me right now with everything else I've got going on. But I think you're right, Nick, about 20 to 25 for just somebody that's just doing straight private practice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Letitia asks, what's a good schedule to have to work on SEO? Good question, Letitia. I will say a good schedule is one that works for you, one that kind of works around everything else that you have, something that you can keep to and do consistently, right? So, you know, if like, I reckon there's some different kind of pieces, and we'll get into this in a little bit, but there's some different pieces to this. I recommend trying to kind of carve out working on little parts of it like a couple times a week, but those parts can be really, really short. You really only need like kind of 20 minutes each time. And then maybe, you could set aside maybe half a day or something per month to go through and do a little bit more work on other parts. So good question, Letitia. I will try to answer that a little bit more a little later, give you a little bit more in-depth answer. But if you don't feel that I'm answering it well, get back to me. All right. So, all right. So this is kind of the next thing that I want to show my screen. And this is, I know you guys have seen this before. This is a search engine results page, but it's important to kind of break it down and get real clear on what we're talking about here. All right. So the first thing we can see here are ads. We're not working with ads. You can see that they say ads up here, and those are always the first results on Google, right? That's created with a different system called Google AdWords, and that's not related. I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same as search engine optimization. I was going to say they're not related, and they're sort of related, but it's not the same. So that's better. So we're kind of ignoring the ads for now. And I know many times when I'm doing a search, I ignore the ads myself anyway. So,
Always. I'm just like, skip right over that and go down to the real results.
right. Yeah, exactly. This next part is what we call the local results. And this is entirely populated by what's called Google My Business. And if you guys haven't set up Google My Business before, highly encourage you to go do that. Especially if you're seeing clients in person. That's kind of not where I'm going to be focusing on right now, but this whole area right now is populated by Google My Business. But beyond that, down here, as Kim was just saying, this is where we get the real results, right? This is what we call the organic results. Okay. And this is where our search engine optimization work is really happening. This is what we're trying to improve, is our ranking here on this search engine results page, or SERP. So in this instance, this site is kind of rank 4 because they're 4th down here on those organic results. They might want to be number 1, but that's hard to do because that's Psychology Today. Psychology Today's SEO game is crazy strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, just being here on this first page is definitely going to get you traffic. If you're on the first page for any search term that your ideal clients are searching for, that's what you're looking for, right? Don't necessarily need to be number 1. If you're in that like kind of top 10 or so on that first page, delicious, great. So while I'm here, let me also kind of show you another concept here in SEO. Now, initially, this seems like, what are you talking about, Nick? That's crazy. But it makes sense if you think about it. And that is, sites don't rank. Sites don't show up on here. Pages do. Pages on the site do, right? So this first results of Psychology Today, but if I go to this isn't going to send me to like the Psychology Today homepage or whatever. It doesn't send me to like a random part of the site, it sends me to the specific page on the Psychology Today site that has results for Wilmington, right? So that means each page on your website, just as each page here on Psychology Today, each of those is an opportunity for optimizing for the search engines. Each of those can be targeted towards different keywords also. So initially, you're probably going to want to focus on your home page, but you can kind of keep going and work on other pages on your site. So it's important to kind of keep that in mind. All right. So yeah, next thing I want to show you, we're actually going to take a quick look at this fourth result. I like kind of ripping on these guys. I owe them a beer because I rip on them sometimes, but they're called Carolina Counseling Center. They rank for therapy in Wilmington. They're doing a good job of putting like that, they have Wilmington here. They have Wilmington. Well, you can see that they have like these keywords on their page. And that's one of the big kind of keys. And one of the takeaways I want you to have is make sure that you have the keywords that you're trying to rank for on your page, right? But I will say, like, I don't think this, like, their SEO is good. They're doing a good job of that. But overall, like, I wouldn't say that this is an amazing website by any means. I don't think it's particularly visually compelling. It doesn't do a good job at all of making a connection between the prospective client and, the clinicians here. So it's not, I don't think it's doing a good job of being that conversion machine, which I think is even more important. They're doing nothing to talk about kind of the issues that someone might be facing, even on these different specialty pages. But my favorite reason to rip on them is like their pictures. Some of them are kind of hazy. This guy here, he's my favorite with this like mullet. He looks like he's out of an 80s pop band or something. I think he's going to whip out a guitar, make a song. Right, Kim? Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Oh, gosh.
I owe poor Mark a beer. If I ever see him around town, But anyway, hopefully you guys are laughing too. But so I want to point this out because, again, like, I don't think they're doing anything really amazing, but they have strong SEO. And I think that's encouraging. That's something that we can kind of take away from, right?
Yeah.
So let's kind of talk about this, and we'll get back and show a little bit of like kind of back end of their stuff a bit. But
okay.
The next kind of part that I want to talk about is, how do you measure performance? How do you know if the work that you're doing on your SEO is successful, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So the first, the easiest, the least complex, which is also, I mean, not the best way, but it's an easy thing to do. Google yourself, right? Google something that you think either your ideal clients are going to be searching for, or Google your name, and see what comes up. If you're going to do this, by the way, make sure that you do it. If you're in Chrome, it's called an incognito. If you're on Edge, Microsoft, then they call it an in private tab. But it's just because without that, the search engines kind of use your specific information to tailor results to you. But if you're incognito, then that won't happen, and you'll see something that like the rest of the public would. But
okay.
But that's a good way to start, good thing to do. And you can kind of make note of like, hey, I'm on the first page, but I'm at the bottom, and you can kind of check in on over time and see if it improves, right? Number 2, analytics, right? So Squarespace has built-in analytics. There's also Google Analytics. That's just kind of this term for like looking at traffic on the site, right? Looking at how many people are looking at your different pages, that sort of thing. And what you want to see, of course, I mean, the goal of SEO is to drive traffic. So you just like to see kind of an incline over time, the more and more traffic coming to your website.
Yeah.
Google Analytics, by the way, well, Squarespace and Wix, they have analytics, basic analytics kind of already set up and integrated into the thing. Google Analytics is pretty easy to set up. If you've built your own website, then you're definitely going to be able to handle Google Analytics. Just, search for it, how to set up Google Analytics, and you'll get it going. If you had someone else do it, then you can ask them to go get it set up, and they should be able to handle it. Other thing I want to show you guys is Moz.com, Moz.com. So here we are. So if you go to Moz.com, you'll need to create an account, but you can do that totally free, and you'll be able to do some different searches here. And you get a lot of information with this. So I really encourage you, if you're interested in SEO, go ahead and check out Moz.com, make this account. Again, it's free, just giving them your email. Once you're logged in, you can go down here to Link Explorer, and you can pop your link in, click that, and you'll see some information. That information will look like this. I call the Carolina Counseling, my friend Mark, I call them Keytar counselor. So this is it. But so this is the sort of information you're going to see. It says domain authority, linking domains, inbound links, and ranking keywords, right? What you'd like to see, you can kind of take a screenshot like I did just now, and take another look like 2 months from now as you're doing SEO and see if these kind of different numbers are increasing. You just basically want all those numbers to increase, okay? Now, you see linking domains, inbound links, ranking keywords. Well, linking domains, inbound links, both of those are dealing with links, right? Links are kind of the currency of SEO. So in the course, I teach a really easy to implement link building strategy, but really like anytime that you have an opportunity to build a link over to your website, take advantage of it. Make sure that you have a Facebook business page for your practice and make sure that links over to your website, that sort of thing. Directories like Therapy Den, other ones, they take a link that's like your regular real link to your website, whereas Psychology Today uses some weird thing in the middle so that they can track clicks. But any opportunity you have to have those links, take advantage of those. You want those links. Now that domain authority, that's actually super important. So this is kind of a ranking of your overall like SEO strength, everything together, right?
Mhm.
The more authoritative your site, the better, and the more likely your site will be to go high on the results, even for really competitive keywords. Now, excuse me, this is a rank from 1 to 100. I've never seen a 100. I don't think even google.com is 100.
Wow.
Wikipedia, so don't like, sorry, how do you find this? No problem. To track clicks. So I see, sorry, how do you find this? This is just a screenshot, but it's from moz.com, and I went over here to this link explorer. If you're talking about track,
I was just saying, you just type your link in there and then it'll like go to your website and like read all the information that you were just showing. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You put it right here in this link explorer part and click that, and it shows just like this. Yep. Okay. So domain authority, 1 to 100, never seen 100. The highest I've seen is like in the 90s, and they're like New York Times, Wikipedia, those sorts of like, websites that everyone knows. But we can see our friends Keytar counselors, they're only like at 13, and that's and yet they are ranking for 113 different keywords, including therapy and Wilmington, right? Again, to me, I like go, okay, cool. Like this is something that I can go do. I don't need this like giant team of SEO professionals. I can work on this. And so when you're starting a brand new website, you'll always start at domain authority 1. But if you're still at domain authority 1, even if you may still be with domain authority 1, even if you started your website a year ago. If you've never worked on SEO before, you probably will be at domain authority 1. That's okay. That means the only way to go is up, right?
That's a good way to look at it.
Yep. So, but we don't need to be crazy high to be getting traffic and to be ranking for keywords that people are searching for. So this, again, moz.com, great tool to really know if you're getting success in your SEO. You want to be seeing that domain authority and all these other metrics increasing over time. Okay. And of course,
so Nick, are you going to talk about like how you get the domain authority up, or is that more like course stuff? Because I'm just curious.
I am going to give a few little tips.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because my domain authority is like a 3 or something, and I had it on God, what is that? Brighter Vision, but I found out from you that they don't have very good SEO because it's the same website over and over and over again. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Brighter
I was
Vision.
so shocked. Yeah, I was so shocked because, they sort of tout like high SEO, but I was like, God, mine's terrible. I just assumed it was pretty good, and didn't really mess with it much, but anyway. Okay, so you'll talk a little bit about that. That's good. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I mean, Brighter Vision, their websites are reasonably attractive and whatnot. But I'd like, yeah, the fact that they feel like they're not being as forthcoming as they could be when they're talking about all the SEO work that they do. They say, so
Yeah. I guess we don't want to
there's,
get into it too much, but yeah,
there's 3 parts to SEO, right?
Okay.
There's keyword research, where you're trying to figure out, hey, what are people actually searching for, right? And that's important. Like, I've worked with clients in New York City, and people search for like teletherapy in NYC, and but you're not going to see that in kind of a suburb of Indianapolis, right? You're not going to see teletherapy in White Bear Lake, Indiana, like people just aren't searching for that same thing. So that keyword research is kind of important to go and take that step and figure out, what are people actually searching for? How much volume is there around this search term? If there's enough volume, then maybe it makes sense for me to go work on this and try to rank for it. But then also, how competitive is it? Are other people doing that work as well? I've already mentioned Moz to you guys. Moz is the tool I use to go and do that kind of work. Instead of that, let me just show you real quick.
Oh, okay.
Super duper quick. So the link explorer is what you can use to kind of look at your existing strength. The keyword explorer is going to be part of what you use to go and see what other keywords you might rank for. And actually, like, well, I'll tell you what part of what I kind of teach in that course is how to go through this process. You would go and you start with something like therapy in Wilmington, North Carolina, that you're like, well, that's kind of generic, but my ideal clients might be searching for that. You find another private practice like these guys, you take this, you go plug it into Moz. Did I copy that correctly? Yes. All right. Go to this link explorer. Hopefully I have. So with the account, you get about 10 queries per month, which is going to be more than enough. Oh, look, they've increased the domain authority since I did it. Good for them. But
that's good.
so they're ranking for 72 different keywords. I can click here and I can go see what they are. Oh, apparently I can't because I'm out of queries, but normally you'd be able to click there and see what different keywords they're ranking for. So then you can kind of go plug those keywords into that keyword explorer, and you can see how competitive it is, what kind of traffic it has, that sort of thing. All that I teach like exactly that in my course, how to go through these keyword research steps that I would do, right?
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
I got the course, so I'm gonna go watch it soon and learn all this stuff.
right. So that's like, again, like 3 pillars of SEO: keyword research, on-page optimization, link building. That number 1 is that keyword research that we just talked about. So here's a quick tip. If you don't kind of want to go through all this work, which I think you should go through all this work, I think you should check out my course. But if you don't want to, maybe you just want to get started a little bit. You can probably like get started with something like therapy in like your local metro area. For me, that's Wilmington, North Carolina. Maybe for you, it's, Oklahoma City or something, right? So therapy in whatever metro area it is, that's going to be your first keyword that you want to go work for. You do want to focus on local keywords, right? Excuse me. Actually, let me share again. Wow, Kim's got the link. Very good. Is this relevant for Google My Business keywords? Yes. Like, because Google My Business is definitely very related. And if you're kind of improving to rank on keywords on your website, it's going to help out the Google My Business listing, et cetera, et cetera. Let me go back here, and I can actually show, I took this screenshot. This is what it looks like when I look at their different keywords. So I can see that they have, like, Moz gives you a difficulty rating and a volume. So there's a lot of, like, 55 is kind of high for the sort of keywords that I'm targeting. So that's good. So Carolina Counseling Center, Wilmington, NC, there's a good number of people that are targeting that. The other thing I want to point out is, so this is Counseling Services Wilmington with 2 L's. This is Counseling Services Wilmington with 1 L right there. Google will treat those different, right? I know we say keyword all the time, but very rarely are we actually looking for one word. It's more of a key phrase, right? And Google will treat every phrase differently, even if it's just a difference of like 1 letter and one of them's a misspelling. So all those are ranking opportunities. And what you want to do is find that the best kind of key phrase that you can rank for on your given page that you're working on. So this keyword research is important for that. You want to make sure that you're working on something that has that volume. then you're going to want to, again, focus on local keywords. It's much easier to rank for something like therapy in Wilmington, North Carolina, than it is just general anxiety therapy or something. If we're just trying to target anxiety therapy, we're going to be really competing with people all over the world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's true, by the way. Even if you're online, I still recommend kind of searching or focusing on these local keywords, like, just because you might not be working in Wilmington, North Carolina. If you're licensed in Wilmington, North Carolina, you can still serve someone that's in Wilmington, North Carolina, right? So your product is still very, your service, your work, your therapy is still very relevant for that person in Wilmington, North Carolina. So
So you would literally take that key phrase and just
Yep.
put it in the text, or do you go like into the like the SEO part of your website where you can plug in the keywords? You put it there, or both places? This is probably
Both.
way more advanced. Okay, both
Both.
places.
No.
Okay.
That's so literally my next quick tip is talking about on-page optimization. And yeah, I mean, it's going to sound super dumb, but it's actually really important. You got to put your keyword, your key phrase on your page. It's got to be in your text, right? So again, if I want to rank for therapy in Wilmington, North Carolina, I want that exact phrase in my text, and I want it there multiple times. So the way I usually approach this is that I first focus on writing that really good, really compelling text content that my ideal clients or your ideal clients are going to go, wow, Kim or Miranda, she really gets me. She understands the issues I'm going through. I want to work with Miranda. That's step one, right? Then I go through and do kind of this keyword research and figure out what's going to be the right phrase, like therapy in Wilmington, North Carolina. And then I insert that into that compelling text. Excuse me, just a second. Sorry.
Okay.
So I mean, inserting it can be fairly easy. Sometimes you can just like do it with your calls to action, saying something like something. Miranda just said, funny because I live in Florida, but want to move to Wilmington. We're visiting in a few weeks. That
Oh,
is super funny, Miranda. I used to live in Florida, and I moved to Wilmington a little more than a year ago. I'm really enjoying Wilmington. You might as well. The world is small sometimes,
that's
but
funny. Yeah.
all right. So therapy in Wilmington, North Carolina. You can, one of the easy places to put that in is your calls to action. So, hey, contact me for therapy in Wilmington, North Carolina. Would like another kind of quick tip. It's a good idea to try to include your key phrase, your keywords in the title of the whatever page you're trying to rank for it also. So if you can do that without being, I mean, maybe you just make the title therapy in Wilmington, North Carolina, that works fine. So, but that's
So is
kind
it
of,
like any title, or just like the like very top title?
so this part's a little bit more technical. I go over this in the
Okay.
course, but
Okay.
what you really want it to be is called the H1 tag. That's generally kind of the title at the top of the page. If you're using something like Squarespace, that sort of thing. If you're doing web development for a living, like me and my team are, then like it's the HTML code on the back end, and we'll make very sure that it's that H1 tag. But I think even with Squarespace now that I'm thinking about it, when you're kind of writing that text in that editor, you have the option of saying it's a paragraph 1, paragraph 2 style, whatever, or you can make it the
Oh,
heading 1 style. What you want it to be is that heading 1 style.
okay.
Because Google will look at those heading 1. That's where we call H1, heading 1. And they're looking at that heading 1 to get an understanding of what the page is about. So if you have your key phrase, your keyword right there, that's what you're shooting for,
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Lastly, link building. All right. So my quick tip here is really to take advantage of the link opportunities you already have. Make sure your practice Facebook page is linking to you. That's number one. Your Facebook page, you have that probably for your practice, and you're already on Facebook if you're watching this. So go ahead and create that page if you haven't already. You can get that easy link over to your website. That's nice. Google My Business, getting that set up. That's good. That's great to have that. But otherwise, just kind of look for other opportunities. If you're seeing other directories, that sort of thing, that's great. So yeah, I think the another tip is to, I mentioned before, sites don't rank, pages do, right? So I would start with the home page with exactly kind of things that I mentioned, but then you can kind of keep going. You can If you are specializing in anxiety, then you might focus on anxiety therapy in Wilmington, North Carolina, whatever that key phrase might be, and do those on-page optimizations on that page. And then another service page. You can do optimizations on your about page where it's about, Kim Tolson or Miranda J. You can improve those to make sure when people are searching for your name, your about page is more likely to show up. So,
yeah, that's so helpful.
yeah, I hope so.
So I'm just, those of you that are here, do you have questions about this? We've got Nick with us, and if you've got questions about SEO, let's hear them.
Super helpful. All right. Glad,
Yeah.
Miranda. So let me know if you have questions. I will say, if you've made it this far hearing me ramble, thank you. If you want to hear me ramble more about SEO, if you found this helpful, then I really do encourage you to go check out the course. Kim has already linked to it. Can you help us by doing this? Yeah. So,
oh yeah,
I'm not doing as much SEO as a service for other people anymore, because there's only one of me, Deborah, how do we sign up for the course? Kim will drop that link in the chat. Kathleen, I'd encourage you to check out the course, and tell me what's your feeling so far about like kind of what I've described and whatnot. If it seems like, well, maybe I can do it, then really go check out the course. If you're like, I could never do this, I don't want to do it, then we could talk and maybe I can work with you. Thank you, Kim. So
yeah, I'm taking the course, you guys, and it's extremely helpful, and it's funny too. Nick has some cameos with his newborn baby in there too, so it makes it a little bit fun.
Yes.
For a sort of a dry topic, but yeah,
right?
It's super informative. I need to go through every bit of it because my website, like I said, isn't ranking that great. Oh, Kathleen says, okay, I can definitely do it. Thank you. Yeah, it's the question in the beginning about like how do you schedule it. I think it's good to know like what you're saying, Nick. Like you can make it as much as you want or as little as you want. If it's just like, hey, one day I'm going to research a keyword and I'm just going to like put it on the page. Or you can spend probably, I'm guessing, Nick, like eternity trying to make this thing SEO like perfect, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, SEO is a little bit of a rabbit hole, and sure, you could get lost in here. But I actually like the fact that like Moz limits you to those 10 keyword, like those 10 queries per month, because it stops you from getting too deep into the rabbit hole, right? There's only so much that you can do. The other thing, like with that link building strategy, I kind of talk about in the course, like my strategy has link opportunities come right into your inbox. Check it out. They will come right into your inbox, but they come at specific times in the day. So just work that into your schedule. Check the email, see if there's opportunities that are a good fit for you. I walk through kind of how to make a template email that does most of what you'll reply, and you'll just have to write like 2 or 3 sentences that'll get you relate to the topic the person is wanting to ask about. And with this strategy, you can end up with links to your website from like Fortune Magazine, Inc.com, major players, right? And those are actually, I mentioned before that links are kind of the currency of SEO. Well, it turns out not all links are created equal, right? If you have a link from a higher domain authority site, that's much better for you than a link from the website that your friend just created yesterday, So if you're getting these links from these high authority sites, that's excellent. And again, this strategy, like really these opportunities are going to come into your inbox. You just need to figure out like, okay, how do I check those emails as they're coming in a couple times a week, and then go send out this template email, write 2-3 sentences, send it out. I'm sure that you can either do it like on your lunch break at the end of something. You can figure out something that's going to work for you, make that schedule work for you. And then from there, like the other parts, the keyword research, the on-page optimization, again, like maybe you kind of decide, hey, the first Saturday of the month, I'm going to spend some time in the morning working on those pieces. First for my homepage, then for my about page, then for whatever. But that stuff really, I mean, if you're that piece in particular, if you've done it for like, the main pages of your site, then you're done. You probably want to keep doing this keyword, the link building part, like until you're full, at least, if not just continuing after that. But really, I suspect that you're probably going to find it very easy and maybe even kind of fun.
Mhm.
That part's not bad at all.
Nice. Yeah, I know in my business, like just trying to do like lots of podcasts and have people linking back to me all over the place is really helpful. So even for therapists, there's so many podcasts out there. If you go and just share about your specialty on a podcast, you're going to get those backlinks from all kinds of places.
Absolutely. Yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, Yeah, so Miranda she asked about Wix specifically. Add keywords to the SEO boxes in Wix. I gotta say, like, I don't work in Wix very much, so I'm less familiar with that. But like the fundamentals of everything I teach is going to apply there too. The only, like, what I'm saying is I'm not as familiar with those SEO boxes in Wix, but in terms of making sure that your keywords are there on the page, that sort of thing, that's going to be exactly the same. And then I think probably at that point, once you're kind of understanding more of like how SEO works from this course, then what to do with those SEO boxes is just going to be a lot clearer. If you get the course and you still not sure about those boxes, shoot me an email. I'll figure it out and I'll let you know.
Nice. That's awesome. Let's see. I'm just looking through to see if we had any more questions. Okay. Oh, Deborah. Okay. They're just asking about the course. Okay.
So the course, by the way, is $249. But if you think about that, guys, if this course gets you one client that you see a few times, that's a positive return on the investment, right? I mean, I think you're definitely going to get your money's worth with this course. I think it's going to get you a lot more than one client if you're doing these steps and kind of being consistent about it.
Yeah, this is such a good reminder for me just to go in every once in a while, just to do a little bit here and there
Yep.
to slowly work on it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, doesn't have to be and shouldn't be this. Well, it can be intimidating, but you break it down, you do a little bit at a time. That's a much better approach. And yeah, you just kind of keep chipping that away at it because it should be a long-term strategy.
hmm Yeah. No, that's so helpful. Thank you so much. Let's see.
Miranda, is it
Miranda.
unlimited access? Yes. Yes. Yep. If you're purchasing the course, I have no intention of taking it away or anything. You'll be able to check it out and work with it at any time.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, does anybody else have any other questions about SEO stuff? I guess that's it. We'll probably have more coming through. I'm guessing once people get a chance to watch this.
Yeah, I'll
See.
try to kind of take a look here in the comments over time. And if there's something else that I miss, if you let me know or feel free to tag me in the comments too, guys.
Yeah, Nick's in the group, so he'll see it if y'all have questions.
Cool.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Nick.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to have this course because it is something that intimidates me, and I think about it a lot. Like I should be doing more with it, and I just don't. Because there's so much other stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I get it. It can feel intimidating, but again, I've tried to have fun with the course, make it kind of entertaining. Hope if you laughed at my introduction here to this live, then you'll probably laugh at my ridiculousness at other parts of the course too, but we take it little by little. A lot of it is, I mean, just about all of it is structured in videos where I'm walking through different stuff, but you can pause those videos, do a little work, follow along, whatever's going to, and again, unlimited access, lifetime access. So just take it at your own speed and break it down and be a
Awesome.
good way to get some people to your practice.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. It looks like Miranda said thank you, and I'm sure everybody that watches it after this is going to appreciate it because it's a good reminder to keep working on this for our businesses.
I'll say too, like just really briefly also that I mean the whole course is focused on private practices, but even if you're an insurance biller, whatever you're doing, these concepts are going to apply to you as well. It's just your keyword research might look a little different, but the rest of it's going to look pretty much the same.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Nick. Anything else you
Absolutely.
want to say about the course? I dropped the link. Let me drop it again here at the end in case people are coming in later.
Yep. Oh, that's cool.
Um, there's
No, just
Nick's course. Okay.
hope this has been helpful. Hope to see some of you on the course. And thank you very much, Kim, for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.